Hi YouTube, my name is Isabella and today you're getting a little bit of a different video from me. Today I thought I would have a play on the Draw My Life phenomenon that happened like at least 4 years ago on YouTube. I didn't think that my life was interesting enough to warrant a full Draw My Life, but I thought it might be interesting to see what led me up to this point. And because my channel has officially turned 1 year, I thought, why not do this sort of special video? Why not share how I became a reader and how I am here today on YouTube? So I hope you enjoy it. A quick thing to note though is that I'm awful at drawing, so my apologies. I attempted to make my people look like, little Funkos, but they ended up looking like a nightmare from Coraline. So drawing's not that great, but I actually like the way the video came out. So I hope you enjoy, and yeah, let's get to a clip. Alrighty, now that we're all set up in this position, I'm going to take it all the way back to when I was very small. Now, obviously, these aren't my direct memories. I had to rely on Mama stubbornly, so shout out to her for helping fill in the gaps. But the one thing I do remember, however, is that my childhood was filled with the constant presence of books. My mother says she noticed from a very young age I was drawn to books and stories. She decided to nurture and grow my reading in the best way possible by reading to me herself. Thanks to her, I learned how to read quite quickly, and I never looked back. In the first grade, my best friend, who I'm going to call C, and I convinced our teacher to read a book to the class. We chose Alligator Baby by Robert Munsch, illustrated by Michael Marchenko. Shout out to all the people who remember his books because they were pretty freaking great. Alternating lines, we read the whole damn thing to the class. I'm pretty sure it took us at least a half hour, not because we were bad readers, but because Munsch picture books tended to be quite long. I'd like to thank my teacher for allowing us to do so. It was very nice and very kind, and she did not have to. It is at this point in watching my recording that I've noticed that I forgot actually to draw one of my slides. So sorry that this is going to freeze for a second. Some of my favorite childhood memories were going to the library, specifically during the summer. My library had a really fun program encouraging children to read. I would browse the shelves for hours and pick up anything that took my fancy. I read fearlessly. I would then meet up with the librarian and tell her my reading progress for the week, and with many assurances, tell her that I would be back in the next. Now, to shift gears a little bit, I never know why I never got to Harry Potter on my own. Before I read the books, I'm thinking I watched the first 5 movies, and I still don't get why Kid Isabella never thought to pick up the books. Like, come on. All of that changed in the summer I was entering the 5th grade. My friend and I had spent the day together and were just hanging around in my living room, and our conversation turned towards Harry Potter. She was astonished that I had never read the books and proceeded to tell me a detailed plot summary of each book. I was convinced and had asked to borrow them. I will never be able to fully describe what it was like to read Harry Potter for the first time, partially because of my real shitty memory and also because it holds so much meaning. It didn't matter that I had seen some of the movies. It didn't matter that my friend had told me the entire plot of every single book. It felt as if I had held pure magic in my hands. Excuse the cliche. This series holds so much love in my heart that I actually will be getting a tattoo in its honor in the next few weeks. The next few years were spent discovering some pretty momentous series, and most of which are still near and dear to my heart, except for one, and I think you'll be able to figure out which. Each book I picked up were all based on the recommendations of others. I lost the ability to pick up books on my own and picked up books randomly, which was a little sad. When I entered high school, my reading definitely slowed down. I still read and used my library on occasion, but I was nowhere near the voracious reader I used to be. I chalk it up to a few different reasons. The shift of elementary to high school, playing rep soccer, school band, getting a job, and just friends in general. So basically, large amounts of change kind of shifted and made me forget how much I loved reading, but I did spend a lot of that time rereading my favorites. I just didn't read much new stuff. My reading basically stopped in the 11th and 12th grade because I was busy experiencing the joys of depression. Note the sarcasm there. My 12th year was one of the hardest of my life, and to this day I'm still trying to write the impact my depression has left on me. Sometime in the fall of 2015, so a few months after high school graduation, I vividly remember lying listless in my bed watching some inane BuzzFeed video. I glanced at my recommended to see a video from Poland Bananas Books. I was definitely intrigued because the channel had the word books in it, so I immediately clicked on it, and it was as if a light went off in my head. I just remember sitting up so suddenly and being hooked from the beginning, and I just watched their videos for hours. I can't remember which video it was first that I discovered, which is a little bit of a bummer nowadays, but I guess it really doesn't matter. But that day, I watched Christine, Jessie, Kat, Reagan, Sasha, and so many others. It amazed me that there was a community entirely dedicated to their love of books, and that I had no idea that it existed. Those initial videos warmed my heart and reminded me how much I loved the act of reading. For nearly 2 years, I thought I would be content just watching and never actually creating. But something inside of me started to shift, and I was no longer satisfied with just watching. I wanted to be more directly a part of the conversation. I almost unconsciously started looking into how to make it a reality. I gathered the things I needed very slowly, then filmed and edited in a haze of trepidation and anxiety. I stared at that button for minimum an hour until I was finally able to push publish. The comments and the welcome I got felt nothing short of a miracle. It genuinely was the reason why I felt I was able to continue and why I'm here a year later. Through technical difficulties, dejection, and general social anxiety, I had an interesting first year, but I'm still here, and that's what I think matters the most. Tomorrow I will be posting a video reflecting kind of on my first year, but mostly looking ahead and to what I want my channel to be in the future. I also will be hosting a giveaway, so stay tuned for that, but I think that just about wraps it up for me today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this slightly different type of content from me, and I will see you again very soon. Tomorrow, in fact. Bye.